Okay, this morning I get a tip call a guy by the name of Alex Shipley, who is now the Assistant Attorney General of Tennessee. Now, the guy told me that called me that he said that Shipley was asked in the summer of 1971 by an old Army buddy, a Donald Segretti, to join a group of other lawyers for Nixon's campaign to sabotage a Democratic candidate. Listen, make a left when you can. We'll go to my place.
Sabotage a Democratic candidate?
That's right. Now, I was able to make a couple calls today, and I got Segretti's records for the year his travel records for the year 1971-72.
Does the FBI know about... Did you say left or right?
Left. We're going to marches. We gotta go through the records.
Does the FBI know about Segretti?
The FBI interrogated Segretti and found out that he wasn't involved in the break-in, so they dropped it. They didn't follow through on it.
Where is he?
He's in California.
You should look at this. What? Segretti crisscrossed the country at least a dozen times. He always stayed in cities where there are Democratic primaries.
So if the break-in was just one incident in a campaign of sabotage that began a whole year before Watergate,
Then for the first time, the break-in makes sense.
This isn't so crazy. This whole thing didn't start with the bugging of the headquarters. Segretti was doing this a year before the bugging. And a year before, Nixon wasn't slaughtering Muskie. He was running behind Muskie before Muskie self-destructed. If he self-destructed.
Hi, Donald Segretti.
That's right.
I'm Carl Bernstein from the Washington Post.
Hi. What can I do for you?
Well, my paper just sent me out here to try to persuade you to go on the record.
Why me?
I guess because you were the head coordinator of Nixon's sabotage campaign against the Democrats.
Carl, you want some coffee?
You read my mind.
Carl, tell me something. What do you imagine the head coordinator does?
Well, I guess basically you were involved in recruiting other people like yourself, other lawyers,
Lawyers.
like Alex Shipley.
I made it clear that I would not do anything violent or illegal.
What do you mean by illegal?
Watergate, I mean, that's the whole bugging. That's horrendous.
And what kind of stuff do you guys do then?
Nickel and dime stuff. Stuff with a little wit attached to it.
I mean, when you sent out on the Muskie Station area that Senator Hubert Humphrey was going out with call girls.
Listen, if anything, it helped the man's image.
What was the one on Muskie Station area that you sent out that said that Scoop Jackson was having a bastard child?
So sometimes it got up to a quarter, off the record.
I think one of the most interesting ones was the Canuck letter.
What about it?
Come on. Where you claim that Muskie slurred the Canadians.
No, I didn't write that.
Do you know who did?
Carl, when you guys print it in the papers, then I'll know.
Smart guy, Donald. You know, dummy.
I'm a lawyer, Carl. I'm a lawyer. I'm a good lawyer. And I'll probably wind up going to jail and being disbarred. And, I don't know what I did that was so goddamn awful. I'll tell you something, none of this was my idea. I didn't go looking for the job.
Well, that's important. Chapin came to you. You know what? It's funny, but I keep forgetting that you guys knew each other in college. You were friends at SC, you and Chapin. Who else was there?
It was me, Dwight, Ziegler, the whole USC mafia.
And that's when you got involved, you mean, in the student elections, and when you started to try to get your man in, so you stuffed ballot boxes, and what was that term you guys used for screwing up the opposition?
Rat fucking.
That's right. And you were just doing the same kind of stuff when you were out campaigning for President Nixon?
Let me tell you something. We did a lot worse things in college. Look, let me ask you something, Carl. What would you have done if you were just getting out of the Army? Been away from the real world for 4 years, didn't know what kind of law you wanted to practice, and one day you get a call from an old friend asking if you want to go to work for the President of the United States.
Jeez. Chapin was the appointment secretary for Nixon when he called.
Yeah. Listen, if those sinister things really happened, I don't think Dwight knew anything about them. He just did what he was told.
Told by who?